Hello, my tarot people. Frankie Nicole here, or the Sun Tiger, whatever you want to call me. We currently do not have any internet because we had a massive windstorm, on Saturday, the full moon, and it was interesting because we've actually entered into a portal. We're about to have 3 supermoons, or perigee moons, all in a row. The next one is going to be an eclipse, so that's why the portal is open. So we just had a full moon in Pisces, so I'm sure that everyone was feeling very emotional. I'm sure everyone's feeling emotional today. So don't take anything to heart that people say, because people may be, rude. I'm low energy, of course, because I was doing many things over the weekend. This time is a time of renewal, refreshment. We have a new moon eclipse and we have a full moon eclipse, I believe. Yes. It's like a solar eclipse, I believe. I'll have to double check that. But I know we have we have 2 eclipses, and one is in Virgo and one is in Aries. Now, it's the sun card popped out, so I'm believing it's the solar eclipse, perhaps. I guess what I wanted to talk about today is pursuing your passions and dreams and going after everything that you want in the world. And right now, we do live in a time where things seem to be, very bleak. It's hard to get up in the morning and go to your job knowing that, you're just going, and what are you going for? Why are you going for it? We can get stuck in a very repetitive rut, and it can just kind of kill our spirit in a sense, where we don't really feel like we are getting that much out of it. We're just trying to pay the bills for what? This, so that we can have another, so we can come home, watch our shows on Netflix, be with our families, and go to sleep. I mean, it's wonderful, but I mean, after a while, we see that it doesn't fulfill us. It doesn't bring us the satiety that we wish to have. We want to see things change in our life in a way that, we could see the world change through our own actions. And, there's so many social epidemics coming to a complete and utter head at the moment. Things with gun control and race and sexual identity and gender. I mean, this is the entrance. Oh, I just got goosebumps. Well, thanks, Spirit. We just entered into the age of Aquarius, and that is a completely different ballgame than Pisces. I mean, this full moon was like the ending of the duality of the times, and now we're in a more fortuitous, open almost more open-minded time, but I mean, it's not a 100% switch over now. We, you know, we have to work out the kinks, and you know, stuff needs to be put in place legislative wise to help protect these new ideas and these new ideals of how we want to live in our society. We're taking a grand step forward, but there's still legwork to be done. The most important thing, though, is to learn how to step into your power. Indigo children have been coming in hordes since the 70s, and it doesn't, you know, I was listening to a podcast about indigo children and the truth, the ultimate truth that they bring. Now, I tend to identify with a indigo child, you know, and it's a lot of this, you know, we don't get along with authority because we feel as if we hold an ultimate truth, and it's very difficult because our truth does not align with the truth of what is in power. And power is money, and the money is the business world and the people who run it, and they, you know, they tell us that we need to buy things, and then they, you know, they keep releasing new equipment, new updates, and for what? You know, I mean, yes, progress is progress, but for what sake? You know, are we just progressing just to say that we've progressed in a, you know, a technological state? You know, if we're going to do that, why not charge money? Why are we still using a monetary, you know, way of payment? I mean, I was talking to somebody about how we're basically getting to the, you know, the point where credit is more prevalent than actual money, and it's, you know, we've basically made up the value of it because it's not really you know, it's not really anything. It's, you know, made up, fake. I'll probably get some slack for that, whatever. But, you know, like, why are we not, you know, seeing, you know, these devices where we are earning credits for things that we do in our lives, that maybe are not necessarily, you know, money-wise or job-wise, but they're going forward, and they're in progressing society. I think that's something that should be explored. Alright, I'll get off my soapbox for a bit. I have all my art laid out here. Finally, I got the rest of it out of my car. This is one of my favorite ones that I really love. It's Justice. Ooh. And, you know, I love Justice. So, it's definitely one of my favorite pieces. Alright, so to the cards. And this is going to span for, hopefully today, Monday, the 31st through Wednesday, is it the 3rd or the 2nd, I believe. Yeah, something like that. Days. Oh, days. Time, calendar, I don't know. Hopefully everybody is having just the most wonderful end of August and beginning of September. You know, we had a huge windstorm that kind of kicked us into early fall, but I have faith the sun will come back. it'll come out tomorrow, right? But we just have, you know, so much going on in our hearts and our minds and our, you know, in our lives that it just kind of feels like everything is toppling over, and, you know, it's kind of coming out against us. Oh boy, okay. Some cards jumped out. Okay, alright. So, it looks like it's going to be a pretty intense week, I guess. And I'm not surprised to see some of these cards, because I've seen some of them being pulled in other people's readings. But I like to kind of sample around, you know, and get a varied perspective of everybody, what everybody's pulling. Because, I mean, maybe one person is channeling more towards a certain way, and then you get someone else's channeling, and then you kind of all mix it together, and you see where it kind of, where your life fits in, because they're very general readings like mine. So the cards that jumped out, I'm going to say, are the ones that are most immediate for the next 3 days. So we have Judgment in reverse. We have 10 of Swords. Interesting. We have the 3 of Cups, and we have the Hangman in reverse. Now, to me, that says that we've got, you know, we've got new understandings, new conclusions coming up. You know, in the Judgment in reverse, you kind of want to be careful of what you're thinking, because it kind of can be like, you know, the judgment's already been made. So don't make a don't jump to a conclusion of something before anything has happened, and allow for the flow. I think that's what the Pisces moon was kind of really hammering in, because, I mean, if you were here in Seattle during that day, I mean, it was like the flow was just everywhere, trees falling. It was like just, you know, this massive like explosion of air and water and everything. And I think that there was a lot of, like, it was like this conclusion of like things are already just toasted, you know, we're done, summer's done, that kind of, you know, in a more, you know, general weather-like sense. But don't jump to conclusions. And the 10 of Swords, yes, it's a no card, but it's also, you know, 9s are completion, and 10 is you have all the information. It's the whole, you know, picture. It's the grand view of it all. You have all the ideas. You have all the ideas, but that doesn't mean you have a conclusion. You just have a collection of everything that has happened, everything that you know so far, that you've gathered in the last couple of months, that we've been going through, especially since the last eclipse in, was it April? Yeah, I believe it was in April, the beginning of April. And we have the 3 of Cups, which is about reunions and friends and enjoyment. And I think that, like, it's like an understanding of kind of the people around you and your social context and your social group and awareness. And we have the Hangman in reverse, which is about becoming unstuck. And also it's about looking at something from a different point of view. And so perhaps instead of jumping to a conclusion about something, you are starting to reevaluate and look at things from a different point of view, and kind of getting a different perspective in a sense. But don't allow yourself to immediately think something of that. Just because we see things in a different way does not mean we can automatically believe that we know exactly how it's going to be or how it's going to go. The Ten of Swords says we have all these thoughts, all these ideas, all these words even, that we are thinking, saying, believing. But hold on to that first before you make any judgment or make any move. So it's almost a, with the Hangman, he's in stasis. I mean, upright, he's in reverse, and when he's in reverse, he's upright. So it's this whole like, waiting with bated breath almost. And then the punctuation mark, we have the King of Wands upright, which is a very energetic, action-oriented, passionate, masculine energy that comes, and it's just kind of charging forward. I mean, he's the guy, he's the MC, the party maestro, the one who is, bringing the energy. He's got all the, the hype. He's the hype man, in a sense. And then we have the Hierophant upright, which is about traditional ways and spiritual ways. And it's funny, there was somebody had pulled the Hierophant as the card of the day for today. So it's all about finding this spiritual ritual for yourself, and an energetic sense of the word, where it's a very positive forward movement. And I think this actually says a lot about finding the power within you in a more traditional way, and not so much of like an institution of a church, but making a decision within to be harnessing that power and believing in yourself rather than believing in an outside force, an outside master, an outside overlord of the system. But it is very it's a traditional card, so it's kind of like stepping lightly. It's a very traditional way of going about it. Now we have the Seven of Wands in reverse, which can talk about some confusion. So maybe you're trying to figure out a way how to put this in place, or to start a new venture, and you're not quite sure how to begin it. And then we have the Tower card in reverse, which is things breaking apart. And so I feel like it's very much a breaking apart of an understanding or a traditional value of, and it can cause some confusion, and I think it does have to do with some of the social context and atmosphere that we have been dealing with in the in the past, and how things used to be, and now we're starting to rearrange things and figure out a new system, a new way of doing stuff. All right, love cards. Let go of inhibitions. Be creative. Allow your imagination to run wild. Your love life will transform in ways you never thought possible. So break out from tradition. Stray away from... I just pulled Death card. Transformation. Transform. Stray from the traditional way that you're supposed to be. Madness going on in my house. A new love is coming your way. Yet, in order for this to manifest, you must first release the past. Are you ready? All it takes is a conscious desire to do so. So, I think that we're breaking out of this traditional ideas of love, relationships, social interaction, context, and and learning how to truly become self-empowered versus being empowered by what the social atmosphere, the social context used to be telling us how we are supposed to be. And not necessarily like your friends, because, you know, it's okay to have like a friend group and a relation where, you know, people are understanding one another. But I think it comes from this like within an understanding of what you truly need and want versus the putting the outside first just to save face or be going along with the status quo. The love that emanates from my beloved heart is the light that stems from the mind of God, Goddess. Through each other we become one. I give thanks for the endless blessing that is you. A profound transformation is taking place in your life. Be yourself. You have much to offer the world by just being you. Your love has the power to transform all things, including your relationship and your love life. There it is again. The power, the passion, the being you, and taking what you have out into the world, and not just saying, okay, well, I'm going to take this calculated version of what love is supposed to be and continue to, you know, move along with it. No, I'm going to take what's in here, what I feel, how I feel, what I want, exactly the parameters of how I want my life to be, and I'm going to project this and create and be the creator of my own existence, regardless of what other people think. Try to look at things from more of a feelings level. What is your heart saying? Exactly. There's emotions and then there's feelings. Emotions are our human response to stimuli happening. Feelings are the higher octave version of what spirit tells us what we want in our truly desire in our life. If you look at life through purely logic, you will always get to a point where nothing makes any sense. True wisdom and understanding resides in the hearts with feelings, with the feels. Do not fear the current changes. All is happening in accordance with your divine plan. The current events are paving the way to a brighter future. Love illuminates all darkness. Remain positive and light. Things will be happening. This is a week of tower and breaking apart and emotion and probably some drama. But rise back above the emotion into the feeling and understand where you come from in the feeling level. So, transform. Shift up. Shift gears. And with that, I leave you. I may not be able to post this on Monday, but hopefully we'll have internet by Tuesday, and I can get that up to you. All right. Take it easy.